Right. Oh, I just got to get the terminal up, but we might as well start. I hope everyone's going well today. Oops, we have Socks once again with us. She's pressing the keyboard with her tail. There we go. New phone, who dis? Okay. Oops, shouldn't have shown that. Okay. We need the terminal open. Right. Just opening up server. Don't worry about the little tiny text. Terribly sorry, it's so tiny. So I just got to make sure that I've got everything closed that I need. Like everything closed but what I need. Cool, done. Alright, let's jump into it. So, what we're doing is we're having a look at the request for changes. So this one is approved at the moment. So this is now waiting to start. This is the correct status that we want on this. What we need now is to change it so that people can actually start. So when someone clicks into here, we need a start task and an end task. So that's what we're going to do today. Sorry, just scratching my eye. Alright, so let's open up the components. Yes, Socks, we're going to open up the components. And let's go to, now this is change tasks. So it's under change task information. So if we scroll down, we'll also need to implement a delete function. So down here, we've got a bunch of... Oh, sorry. Got a bunch of little tasks down here. So we do actually have a delete. We've got to cancel. We've got to save. And we've got this one which is not appearing. So the user level has to be greater than 2. Oops, trying to sit on my keyboard again, aren't you? You gotta meow at people on the stream. Oh, I made that too bright for you. There it goes, sweetie. Alright. Let's see why this isn't appearing. So change task results, change status is 3. So if we go over here, let's open up our this. Let's zoom in for you guys. So this will be under all of this. So change task results, 0 fields. Change task status is 3. And then user level is greater than 2. So we just need to find the user level. User level is 0. This might be one of those cases where we're not passing it down. So let's have a look in here. We have user level coming down, default is going to be 0. So what we want to actually do is we want to go up to the NearBeach section, views, Now this is change task views. So we're making sure that we actually get this user level that we get out. Yep, okay, cool. And we send it into the template, change information template. So, go templates. Request for change. Change task information. So it looks like we're not passing this down. And I can instantly spot why. We've got an underscore instead of a hyphen here. So if we just hit save, this should fix this bug. If we hit save, we'll see a start task here. So if we hit start task, oh, root URL is not defined. All right, we've got a bunch of different issues here. So root URL should be defined. So let's should be defined. All right. So this goes to update status. Update status, new status. So this just creates the stuff we want. Aha, all right. It's meant to be this dot root URL. All right, so if we hit save again, wait a few seconds for it to recompile. We get a 500 internal server error. Update status got an unsuspected key argument user level. So let's have a look in the view. Let's see what we're sending it to. So change task, update status. So update status. It's a bit hard to read. So what I'm doing is I'm going over here. Let's zoom in here. All right, so we had a similar issue yesterday. Where it's saying user level. Okay. We're missing args and quags. So if we have a look at up here, we've got args and quags. So we need args and quags. Right, so if we hit save, let's just hit reload here. And there we go. And then we should have a reject or finish task. And if we go finish task, we should have this all finished. Finish task just sends it back here. That's fine. We'll click on that. So now we can close the request for change, and if we close it, it goes into a permanent state of done. And there's no... And yeah, we haven't had a failure. So yeah, all is good. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's how it's meant to actually run. So let's actually do a proper test. Let's do... like so. change type. Let's go medium. Then let's start actually fixing up some of the issues we've been having. So one of the issues is we can pick stuff in the past, which is not what we want to actually do here. We want these dates to be in the future. We also want the start date and end date, the implementation date, release date to be ahead of the start date, and release date to be equal or ahead of the end date. So you can actually have an implementation end at a certain time, and then the release happen the next day. What that just really means is that everything should be back open and that kind of fun stuff. So we should fix that issue. So what we need to do, naive UI. Let's see if we can disable some stuff. So this is a date pickup. Date time range. I mean, this would be really, yeah, no, that won't actually be good. Default times. Disable. No, alright, no. Disable specific. This is what we want. So, oh, sorry, sucks. There we go. Yes. Fine, I'll remove the cube. Oh. Sorry, could not fetch the thing. So we've got a default value, which is what we've got. Date disabled. So this looks like it's a function. All right, so yes, sucks. All right. You're just staring at the screen, sweetie. Yep, there we go. Okay, 12. Nothing beforehand. All right, so that's specific timings. Okay. If I put that ahead, no, it's still anything before 12. Okay. That's specifically time. Well, let's play around with it. Okay, so we've got is date disabled, we've got date disabled. All right, so let's jump into the RFC code. Let's start with the new request for change, and then deal with the other one. Okay. So we've got description, we've got details. Now, this will be under details, I do believe. Yep. So RFC details. And hey, Coachman, long time no see, how have you been? My sleep schedule is booked, oh no, which obviously means I need to go see my favorite upside down man in Socks. Yes, Socks is here, she's been joining my stream lately. I'm gonna have to be back for a chat for such a special occasion. Ah, fair enough. And when you come back, I have some fun news. Alright, implementation. Okay, cool. Let's start with this one. I'm here rolling in a tubby now. Fire away. Alright, cool. I will be going to Thailand in a month. Oh, actually, we're going to a couple of places. And it's legal there. So I will be able to join you in a doobie. But I don't know if the time will line up. So, for example, are you East Coast or West Coast? I keep forgetting. West Coast. East Coast. Ah, I had a 50-50 chance. So, if it's 5 p.m. in there, I'll be 6 a.m. for you. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it. Wait. I'll just move the camera just so everyone can see what Socks is doing. Yeah, so I am getting excited. It'll be nice. I'll still be working. So I'm just doing the nomad thing whilst my partner's having a holiday. So yeah, it'll be fun. But he'll probably be rubbing in that he's got his time off and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Now I've already forgotten what the command is. Oh, wrong one. Should zoom in for you guys. So is date disabled? Okay, is date disabled equals, alright, disable start date. So we just needed, I think, just the method, I think they had it under. Oh, it didn't. I've done things differently here. Alright, I think it still comes, I don't think it's computer, I think it's, yeah, I think it'll have to be down here. Disable start date, so we'll have a function. We'll need to have something come through as a, let's get the TS. Oh, I should put in timestamp. Oh. Okay, and that's a number. So const date to get date. Cool. So const date equals new date get date. All right, that should be a number. And from here, what we need is return if the timestamp is greater than the date. I think. I'm 50-50 on that one. All right. So instantly we've got it crossed through. And yeah, I've screwed up. Alright, not a problem. This is why we've got console logs. And fat finger on the keyboard. Console log date timestamp. Now, why are you doing that? They can see your hand. Oh, it's off. Someone wasn't even pushing down on you. She's there for like 10 minutes and then she freaks out and she's like, ah! Alright, I'm gonna put that there. Oh. That's right. Okay, I mucked this up. Some idiot names. Me forgot to omit the dist folder on source control and now I keep... Oh god. Don't worry, I pushed my node folder up multiple times before. Multiple. Haven't learnt. Have not learnt since. That thing's dense. Let's just say that. Const d equals new date. Alright, and I think it's get time. Yeah, it's get time, not get date. Okay, where were we? Here. There we go. Now we should see it so that we need to flip it. It's less than or equal. Doing 15, alright. Alright. I still want the ability for people to put it on that particular date because there are sometimes emergency RFCs that need to be done very, very quickly on that particular date. Quickest time I've seen an RFC turnaround is about 3 hours. So, what if I did that? No, alright. What's got me wired tonight? I'm trying to hand at creating art with CSS and green sock for parts of the site redesign. Ooh, actually I'm going to bring this to the big screen. It's freaking colorful. Yeah, I like it. I wish I was really... I'm terrible at design. I wish I could design. Ooh. Now I'm assuming I gotta be careful that because like 3 colors, at least 3 mini colors. Fair enough. I'm assuming you've got personal details on here, so I won't show it on stream. But this looks nice. This does look really, really nice. I like how you've got these sideways. Yeah, I like it. I've got some playing around to do. Fair enough. Mainly just did that hero so far. Oh, the personal details are linked directly to the name Cosmet. Alright, alright. Yeah, no, that looks awesome. I did like the, that's right. I like the animation around this. It's how it just falls in. That looks really cool. And then I like this too, how it goes through, oh, does it stop? Oh, okay. But it was going through everything you do. I like that. Oh, by the way, how have you been? I don't think I asked you that. A bit rude of me. Terribly sorry. And how's Tux going? So what I'm doing right now is creating an infinite stacking loop of those bars, and then after the initial animation, it'll scroll up as it... Ah! I like that idea. Greenstock is really fun, albeit mathematically exhausting. Ooh, alright. Let's have a gander at it. Gander, is that even a word, or is it just an Australian slang? Oh no, it's a male goose. A glance. There you go. Ooh. Oh, I think I've seen this before. Yes. Well, that's neat. I tried doing something similar last year with this. Yeah, they're using 3. Same old, same old. Ah, fair enough. Tux is a handful, and now I have her brother too, so she's a handful elsewhere causing trouble. Oh, fair enough. Wait, you got a second cat? Oh, neat. I've got Socks, and my partner has Max, so we're still a 2-cat house. Okay, so now I was gonna cheat with this one. Just gonna get that. Can we I don't know if we can actually do this. I don't know if we can do that, but maybe. Yep, her brother was from the same land. Ah, fair enough. Tux was lonely and he was running around my mum's neighbor's farm, so brought him home. Aww. Alright, yeah, no, it didn't like it. Alright, let's play over here. Const d equals new date. D dot set milliseconds to 0. D set. Just doing that again. No, it looks like I can't. That's fine. It's as simple as me just going bang, D, bang D, bang D, and cleaning up. And then just commenting. So get date, but level the time to 000000. Alright, return anything that is less than a day ago. Oh, and this is going to be get time. So you got a story to tell me. Nice. So a few weeks ago, got a leak in my ceiling. Oh no. They cut the drywall, fixed the plumbing, turned Turns out they left the hole uncovered, and I've never even noticed. Oh god. About 3 a.m. the next day, I get a knock on the door. Maintenance guy with tux in arm. They cut a hole in a girl fall down. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, Tux was just having a little explore. Oh, poor thing. Oh. Then finally, getting it fully fixed and patched with drywall. I think Mario got out. Tux's brother couldn't find him anywhere. After 3 hours of searching the building, I get home and hear a bell. He got on the ceiling and got... Oh no! That they got a kid for another... Oh god. Jesus. Well, at least you found him. That is good news that you found him. Whoops. Talking about cats in ceilings and stuff like that. My mother's old cat, who sadly passed away 3-4 months prior. My cats are famous in this apartment. My mum used to, when he was a lot younger, pick him up and actually stick him in the roof because she had a rat problem, and he would just walk around up there and have a time of his life. And yeah, solved the rat problem. My cats are famous. It's just... Well, I'm glad that they're fine. I'm glad that they're safe. I'm glad that Mario was found very quickly. D is not to find. And I am having a brain fart. And hey, Shivens and C, how are you? Yeah, they are such blessings. If it works, it works, yeah. Yeah, it did actually work. The smart cat's just hilarious. Yep. Frankie, one of my previous cats, who sadly got bitten by a snake and didn't make it. She was extremely smart. She figured out how to unlock the cat door. So, and she taught Toby Tripod how to do it back when I had Toby Tripod. This is going on 7 years ago now. Yeah, over 7 years ago. So yeah, she figured out how to unlock the cat door and open it up and escape. Talk about smart. You're good? Oh, that's great, Shivan. Yeah, I'm going good. Work is starting to finally ease up a bit more, which is good. So yeah. Alright, it won't still let me pick the 14th. So, return timestamp is greater than that. Wrong PC. Fair enough. I thought it was meant to be an emoji type of thing. You know how sometimes people type in emojis, and mine's just robotic 31 Frankie type of thing. What, you don't have the password hunter too? Okay, that's everything before. Mucked that up. Did that again. Let's see if it's +1. No, I need to get the 14th. So this is just the fiddly part of this code, because I can't do math tonight. No. I'll tell you what. I can. Where's the? And then you got to be careful of those ones. All right. And no one needed to know. Except the problem is it's up in the chat overlay. And hey, Jane the developer, how are you tonight? Well, it will be your morning. Useless, you watch in the party, yeah. Alright, I've got to figure out why. What if I just, minus a whole day, so that's right. That's how you get people at game server pretend you leak the details. Makes them feel exclusive and powerful, get them hooked. Still there, redstones. Playing the long game here. Alright, that seemed to work. And we're fine with the times. Okay, so that will happen for all of these. Except with these particular ones, we don't want it before this particular one. So okay, I'm just gonna put in return false because why not? These forms are looking clean. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I spent a little while trying to clean it all up. I do need to re-implement the wizard for this just because it is a very long form, and just breaking it up so each of these pages deals with one little section, like the description, the basic details, the risk, implementation plan, backout plan, and test plan should, yeah, be on separate forms. So I've ported the wizard form, and now I've just got to fix it all up or look at a different wizard form. So I'm open to ideas. If anyone knows a good Vue.js library, Vue.js 3 library for wizard forms, please do tell me. You can just tell me in the Discord. So yeah. Anyway, log this dot it'll be end date, right? Sorry, forms. Oh, there's the music. Oh, damn it! All right. I can't lower it anymore. The wizard forms. My music. Oh, thank Christ, because I was like, oh god, it's literally on its last tiny pixel. Oh, you can't see it because Socks is there. Yeah. There we go. It's on its last little pixel. That belongs around about there. Alright, so let's click on this. Let's implementation. Nope. Screw it, I'll yank that. Alright. that is going to be like that. I'm just going to delete all this. I still need to learn a lot of the Vim shortcuts. I'm getting better. Still using the arrow keys. Don't judge me. Oh, I didn't put the thing in. That's stupid of me. Alright, let's scroll up to here. Okay, I need consistency. I just spotted a issue. Disable. Okay, waiting a couple of seconds, gonna hit refresh. Okay, cool. It just comes out with that. Sweet. And then what we want is we want timestamp. It pretty much is anything less than or equal to the this.rfc implementation start model. Now, saying I can't finish this on the 14th. Shoot. There must be a better way. And I'm just not finding it. So I'm going to date time. Let's just look for disabled. First half of the month, and AM. No, we need. It's completely disabled. No, we don't need that. Is date disabled? Current number, boolean, false. Validator of the date. Okay, so that is current number, phase, start, end, value, or null. It's an array of numbers. Oh, sorry. Oh. I don't think I can. Alright, this is... I might have to have socks. Thank you. I might have to have that so that all of these use this disabled date and then just JavaScript the rest. So when someone changes the date, it makes sure that that date isn't changed in reference to the start time and all that kind of stuff. So let's just use disabled date. Okay. And before we do it, we might as well just do this last one. I am going to actually yank this because it will be the same as this. Okay, cool. And then when we hit refresh, it should everything before that. Great news. Okay, so there's a couple of things around the dates that we want to make sure work fine. One, we don't want release date before implementation date. We don't want implementation date before start date. So the hierarchy will be always start date, implementation date, release date. So if I try and change this to implementation end, it will automatically change the implementation ends date. If I change implementation end to implementation start date, it will change it to the implementation start date. So, we need the on change. So on update. We need to handle each of these. There'll be one for let's see how they do this properly. Ooh. Finding out which one I want. Whoop. Actually, let's change that to updated start date. All right, down here, updated start date. My technicality, this is in alphabetical order. This goes before everything else. Function, this is, I'm just going to put data for here for the moment. And we are just going to go a simple console log, got here, and then we're going to display the data. Okay, Socks, don't you want to? All right, cool. I'll go back to here. So you get to see my face, because Socks is all the way over there at the moment. She's just like, nah, I've done enough camera work tonight. No, that's not the right trigger. Yep, no, it's not. Ooh. All right, let's see what this is doing. No, this one. Okay. No, this isn't what we wanted. All right. Not a problem. We can actually watch what we want. So now watch is an object. Okay, what we want to watch is RFC implementation start model. This will be the new value. All right, and then let's just console log got here, and then just show the new value. Sorry, Socks' head is in the way. And I don't know why Outlook has decided to just open itself. Did you just press my mail button? All right, let's go over here. Let's hit refresh. Let's just see if we change something. Confirm. Let's just hit refresh. Okay. That's not working how we want it. Just deleting all that. Oh, that's a nice calendar. Oh, I might actually utilize that. Oh, wow. Yeah, I might utilize that. I've got an idea for that. All right. The actions only. Events. Oh, all right. at update. Okay. Back to the start. At update, what we'll do is we'll have updated start date like we had before. We go all the way down to our methods. Oh, we already had watch here. Oh, we might be doing that already. I could just hijack this. Alright, so we already had watch in here. And that's an object. So what we've got to do is test out one thing. So let's go console log end model. Let's go this.rfc implementation end model equals 0. So we're just what I want to do is when I trigger the start menu, will it actually trigger this functionality also? Got to make sure that it works. Got to make sure that works before I hijack that component. So if I go and change this, go confirm, end model does get hijacked. Sweet, which is what we want. All right. So straight off the bat, check to make sure end model is still greater or equal to start model. Okay, so if this.rfc implementation start model is greater than this.rfc implementation end model, this.rfc implementation end model equals this.rfc implementation start model. So we just make the end model the start model. And then down here we are send data upstream. So we're just updating the values and sending them upstream. But this is actually should be so if the end model is, check to make sure that the end model is greater than the start model. If not, change it. Okay, cool. Check to make sure the release model is greater or equal to the end model. So if the implementation end model is, so if the end model is greater than this.rfc release model, then we make this dot the release model and then we've got to do it on the release model too, because you can change the release model back So check to make sure, actually what we do is we just copy these lines. We'll include the blanks. I should have also included the comments. Okay, so if I hit refresh here, if we change this, so if I change this to the 16th, and this to the 15th, it should have worked. Right. Let's have a look now. Just waiting a few seconds, just then hitting refresh. So if we change this to the 16th, we don't get a console because I didn't put it in that particular case. But if we change this back to the 15th, we should get now in here. What we've got is end. We need to check the start too. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna wait 1 or 2 seconds. I'm gonna hit refresh. I'm gonna quickly run off and get a drink of water. I will be right back. I wouldn't be more than a minute. So, yep. No, Max has trapped you again.
Can you put on the cat flap thing to stop it?
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm back. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Thank you very much for waiting. All right, we'll just hit refresh. So we'll do this again to the 16th. That should be fine. This to the 15th. And it changes it automatically to the 16th at 9 AM. This one should also, if we go, let's go here, we can do that. But if we bump this to the 19th, bumps everything up. Great. Cool. So there's an order of hierarchy here. So the start date will always be the one on top, meaning if you change that, everything else follows. Followed by the end date, and the release date has no permissions whatsoever. All right. So that bug is fixed. With this, we also will have a lot more information around when you create a change task. It will be set in between the start date and the release date, hopefully. Gotta figure that out properly. now that I realize that it is actually tricky having these. It would be good if I could. Yeah. That's fine for the moment. Like you saw, we've just done a bunch of JavaScript sort of stuff. What we could potentially do is when people create change tasks, we could be like, listen, this time is technically outside of the overall scope. And usually you want everything to be contained inside that scope. In fact, everything should technically be in between implementation start and implementation end. And the release date is usually just a whoop-de-doo, this is all done type of thing. All right. Wait, I'm just, okay. Lead is fine at the moment. This is fine. Go. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds. Right, no. Risk, imp, back, and test. And I've just realized I forgot to do one thing. I forgot to run that SQL. Give me 2 seconds, chat. I am just putting a little reminder in my calendar. There's something I want to run tonight. And hey, Nocturnal, how are you? Run that SQL for... Okay. You can be run it any time tonight. So, I better put it on to do. I was meant to do it at 7. The reason being why so late is because that's when Perth stops finishing. That's when Perth finishes working. Yeah, you're good. That is great to hear. Socks was here for a bit. She's still kind of hanging around. Does she want to come back, Socks? She's like, all right, there you go. There you go, Socks. Your fans are here. She's like, what? All right. So let's build this request for change. We got a 500 error. Why did we get a 500 error? Cannot assign 1 to request for change. We didn't fix this. This is why we test. So yes, she's been a good girl today. I went out on the hammock at one point today, and she just wanted to. She kept meowing to get in because she can't jump in. So I finally was able to coax her enough so I could lift her up and actually put her in. She snuggled up with me for a little while. Okay, this is online. Not that one, not that one. Oh, it's going to be easier just to read it from here. Request for change views, line 134. Yeah, she loves to snuggle sometimes. One, 3, 4. All right. So RFC status. This is incorrect now. So this should be a list of RFC statuses, objects.get, and then RFC status ID equals 1. Alright. So, if we go back here, what we can do is we can just hit create new. It's all back end, so that was quick. And hello, Brom! How are you? I hope you're going well. Welcome back. We are still on the RFC sort of stuff. We also have Socks with us still. She came back. She's hoping for treats. I really should clean my desk. Oops, sorry about that. I just bumped the mic with my water bottle. Okay, so we can get to here now. We can update the request for change. We can't submit it because there's no run sheets. So currently there are no change tasks associated with this request for change. Please add some by clicking the button below. Now these, if I put the start time in the future, that went back. Yeah, she is pretty cute, thank you. She's been very good today. And if you look very, very closely, she's like, treats? Treats? Alright, so this works differently. If I put the release date earlier, what will happen? It'll bump back. But if I put it back over here, oh, it's not updating. Oh, that's a big bug. Okay. I think I asked this last time, but I forgot. But did you say you know Python a lot? I do know Python a fair amount. I wouldn't say a lot, because this is not a problem with Python. But Python it does a lot of different things. So when it comes to Python and Django, yes, I know a fair amount. But when it comes to Python and pandas, so data analysis and stuff like that, sadly, I haven't been able to use pandas in a sort of day-to-day context. So I know a little bit of pandas, but not enough to actually just go in there and go crazy. For the sort of basic sort of Python stuff, like I've used Python and Selenium before to automate my jobs. I've used Python to pretty much, because I was lazy, pretty much combine a lot of spreadsheets together and stuff like that. So in some aspects, I would say yes, I'm pretty good with Python. I'm happy with how it works and so forth like that. But in other sort of aspects, like pandas, I'd say probably not. Not to mention, there's the fun world of async await Python. Yes. What was it that you used to automate your jobs? So that is a really good question. So back then I used Selenium with Python. I don't know if there's a... So back then, I had to look after this system where essentially I needed to click a lot of buttons, and the buttons were always the same and so forth like that. So what I did was I essentially just wrote up a Selenium script, and this is all in the web browser. So it would boot up the web browser and start clicking the buttons how I want it to. So this is a very simple example where it will open up Firefox, it will go to Python, it will find, in this sort of case, it's asserting, this is a test. So it's asserting that Python is in the title of the web page. It's then finding an element by name with a Q in it. And doing all sorts of other random stuff in there. So it wasn't overly complicated. In fact, I got these scripts up and running pretty fast, and yeah, saved so much time at work. I love to learn async await Python, but I can't think of any cool projects. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm the same with other languages. So there's a bunch of different, like I want to learn Go, I want to learn Rust, but I just don't have a project to actually learn on. I'm one of those people that will use a different language for different projects. This is actually built on Umbraco, which is .NET 6. It's very, very basic, but I don't really need a big fancy marketing site just yet. So yeah. Because Python can solve most needs. Yes. So Python has the batteries included approach. So they want to include as much as possible. Like, you can do a lot with Python. Echo sucks. You've got to keep your face in the camera. Otherwise people won't give you treats. Anyway, going over here. I want the RFC information. Yep, that's fine, Bron. Bron? If I'm pronouncing your name right. Please correct me if I'm not. Alright, so we're after the date time. So here. Okay. Alright. At least she's not jumping in a bed like there's no tomorrow whenever I move the camera right at the moment. Yes, you've been a good girl today. Have a personal hate for selenium. Fair enough, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I don't use it for testing anymore. So for testing, I use cypress.io. Yeah, I fully understand. There's been many times that I've had to key in like the sleeps or waits and stuff like that, just to make sure that an element on the page has appeared, because Selenium just has no patience whatsoever. Or how I wrote it, Selenium had no patience whatsoever. And your scripts will crash halfway through because of a very slow page. So yeah, I didn't use Selenium for testing. I mainly use Cypress for testing. But automation, I did use it. And we are talking like back in 2006, 17 and 18. Waiting for an element seems to be slow, clunky around it. Yep. Yes, it is. Especially if you're using a solution where some pages take 5 freaking minutes to load, because they download all the freaking data in the database, loop through it, finding the specific piece of information that they're after, just to display it on the screen. Don't ask me why that wasn't done in the back end. Socks to your tail is like messing with the mouse. Alright, cool. Over here it is. I think I also used it recently for load balancing. So for those who don't know, Locust is a load testing framework. All right, so you got a simple Python script. Essentially, it tells you what pages to hit and stuff like that. It is absolutely simple. It is not as complicated as the Apache's equivalent, which I cannot. Oh, JMeter. It's not as detailed as JMeter. This is very, very simple, but it has the ability to. There's plugins for it, and it has the ability to do some Selenium in it. So gotta figure out where I found it. Alright, this ain't it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I used Selenium. The idea was very, very simple. I just needed to interact with the web page. And that's all I needed to do. I wasn't running any tests. I was just doing interactions. So yeah, my old job did that as well. Fair enough. I do like Locust. It is extremely simple though. So whenever I have to do, let me rephrase this. The sad thing is I can't use Locust with the NearBeach application because I need to figure out how to log in. that's where I fall over. I think, can you do it? I don't know, but I've used it for e-commerce stores where I know the product pages and stuff like that, and I've just pretty much been like, all right, cool, we're just gonna set up 200 users to try and bring down this store and stuff like that. I tried using JMeter, but it's very confusing and I just didn't have time. One of these days. Anyway, let's get this fixed. So implementation start. Okay. So implementation start model. Yep, that's fine. Import class. Yep, that's fine. Don't know why it's not wanting to change. Just wait. Write operation failed. Compute property as it is read only. Oh, all right. So I think I've made a mistake here. I think this is not meant to be this. So let's scroll down. Oh, it's getting. Oh, all right. Okay, I've mucked up massively here. Okay, let's see mounted. All right, commit to Vuex, user level. Yep, sweet, that's fine. And then it sends up. Okay, that's fine. But we need a local version. Okay. Local start date. Local. Actually, it's going to be 0 by default. Local end date 0. This is going to be alphabetical order, otherwise it'll drive me nuts. PQRS. Local release date. If I spelt release right. There is a heated discussion of which I was saying using Selenium would add the bottleneck on the things running Selenium. Fair enough. If you're testing a server, test the send it HTTP request. The compute running on the front end compute scales up to the clients where the back end server does not. Yep. Okay. Which I was saying uses Selenium would add the bottleneck on things running Selenium. Testing a server, test and send HTTP requests. The computer front end scales up with the clients. Yep, alright. The back end server doesn't. Yep. Alright. And hello, Lycan, how are you? Sorry, I can't form sentences today. Fair enough. That is perfectly fine. Okay. Local and okay. So what I want to do is I want to change these to the local variances. Very tired still. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Okay. This will be local start date. This will be local end date. And this will be local release date. All right. Very tired still. Well, you did just wake up, so you're allowed to be tired. My point was you don't need the front end to put the load on the server, and the load can be generated much more efficiently without the front end. Fair enough. I will have to keep that in mind in the future because we do actually want to test the product at work. Yeah, I just don't know how to create the API calls. But if I do that, then if I figure out how to create the API calls, then I could easily just send it API calls. And fell asleep later than normal, which never helps. Yes, I fully understand. I fell asleep late last night, but I worked from home today, so I got to sleep in right until just about 9. And then rolled out of bed and quickly came downstairs. Yep. Hey, Socks. Yeah, Socks is back. Okay. Alright. Okay, so we've got a local version. And I just realized we haven't actually updated our local versions down here. So what we need to do, local end date equals end date dot get time. This dot local release date equals release date dot get time. This dot local start date equals release date dot get time. All right. Release date is not defined. Oh, sorry about that. On what line are you talking about? All right. It is a web app. You can just look, you can inspect. If not, you can add a proxy log to the API calls. Ah. It's also an application which I'm not 100% around just yet. So yeah, I think you can save the network traffic from inspect as well. Yeah, I think you can. I think you can. It's not that one. Save all as ha. So yeah, I've got to, yeah, I'll eventually figure that out. Because yeah, there's a lot more going on. Because there's a bunch of triggers to... I'll figure it out. All right. Refresh. Where's release data? Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at the one above. This is start date. Had another brain fart. Alright, just gonna hit reload. These should now update. And then I just need to watch those locals. Which sounds funny now that I've said that out loud. Watch those local variables. Watch, it's an object. And then we've got local end date. We've got the new value. Console log darb new value. All right. All right, it updated. That is good. Sweet. Cool. All right. So end local release date, new value. Let's do all these. Local start date, new value. All right. And essentially we're doing the exact same thing as we are in the last one. So let's start with the start date. So if start date is greater than the end date, update end date to the start date. So if the new value, do we need the new value? This is just a quick test. I don't know what this detect is. Alright. Alright, cool. I don't need these. Okay, that's simple as. Cool. If this dot local start date is greater than this dot local end date, then this dot local end date equals this dot local start date. Alright. This sucks. This is a funky track. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty good. Sucks wondering why I'm dancing. So with the end date, we want that in also. Okay. If release date is less than the end date, the end date is greater than the release date, update the release date to the end date. Because the end date has precedence over the release date. Cool. Done. And I need to copy that into there too because the end date swings both ways. All right. Let's play around with that. Now if we put our start date ahead and confirm, both of those go up. If we try and put this down to here, it will copy that back to 20. If we go up to 22, that will go up to 22. This one can't go before then. That is fine, but it could go after. Yep, that is fine. And then if we move this down to, let's say 12, now those should move. Yep, sweet. All right. And then at the end of this, we should be updating the fields in the Vuex. So essentially what we want is we're updating this. So, and then okay, so what we want is update the RFC, update the state management, UX. I don't know if I need all three. Hopefully not. But let's actually have a look. So Vuex store. And what we're actually looking for is the update RFC dates. And here it is. And yes, we do. We need all three. Sox is just cleaning himself on camera. I hope no one minds. Okay, so we've just got this dot local local end date. Cool. start date model. Now, what I'm thinking of, is really this should be a method. Alright. Update Vuex. Oh, it should be state management. It's giving 2 minutes whilst I count these lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. So that will just update state management. This is no longer needed. But we do need update state management. This dot update state management. We just need to call it. Okay, and we'll go back up to these watches. We just paste this in. Make sure that we tab it in. Yep. And that should update the state management. So coming in here. We bump over to the state management. Oh, that's timeline. We've got RFC. So here's our release date model, start date. Oh, we've only got the end date in here. Those are currently undefined. That is not good, even though we're defining them. Give me 2 seconds, I'm just finding this out. Alright, that happens sometimes. You just got to reload the page a couple of times. Reboot into Vue.js. Zoom in. We should have data. We've got the local stuff. Great. Release date model, start date model. I don't know why you are undefined. You're right here. They should have been set here. Local release. Ah, that's why. I've stupidly keyed in the wrong one. Local release date. And local start date. All right, let's hit reload. Let's click on the wrong thing. Let's click on the Vuex. There's our numbers. So when we change this now, so we should see on the start date model this value change here, and we just did. Great. And if we change it into somewhere into the future, All three should change. Presto. Alright, I am happy. Okay. Wait a minute, how far in the future? Oh, the 3 years into the future. That's why we've got a new 1.7 instead of 1.6. Oh, sucks. Alright. Oh, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. So I feel like this is good now. We hit save, we should hit refresh. Everything comes back good. Alright. And the change lead stays the same. Now whether or not someone can actually edit that, I will have to figure out. I mean, in this stage it'll be fine, but in the future stage it should be solidified. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that as a bug, because I don't think I can fix that tonight without some clever programming. So let's just bump that in. uTrack. Oh, NearBeach.uTrack. Alright, new issue. Alright, okay. RFC, users cannot update lead. What do we call it? We called it change lead. Method, one open. So, one. Log into NearBeach, 2 navigate into an RFC that is set into draft mode, 3 update the change lead, expected results, user can update the change lead, actual results. Change lead is solidified at this level. Alright, it's normal. It's a bug. We submitted it. I'm gonna do it myself. This is request for change. Okay. Cool. That should be an easy bug to actually fix. So, groups and users, that's all going fine. We do kind of need to add users into this. We should, I'm just thinking with this, we really should have these just warn the user. I think it's going to be too hard to actually state, listen, this happens just before this, or this happens just before this. I reckon a validation warning would be better. So if we picked a date, let's say on the 7th, this will pop up, be like, sorry, but no. We have a validation error pop up here too, before start date, before end date, or after end date, type of validation error. Ooh. Terribly sorry. done the times. Thing is, when we click in here, I need to go back up here. Okay, change task information. All right, bind ref equals. Oh, sorry, sweetie. Just wanted to do that to me. All right, cool. Do we have root URL in here? I'm pretty sure we have to. Root URL, yep. Root URL, so we want it to go back into something like this. So it'll be RFC information. And then what we want is change task results. RFC, oof. All right, components. Change task information. 0. Fields. I need that ID. Come on. Request for change. You don't need it to bother too much about its target, anything like that. We just need to go back at the top. We wait for a couple of seconds. Ooh, we need just a bit more space. I mean, that's fine. Having that break there, yep, that's fine. So we click both, go back, and we go back here. Great. So that's a little easy thing to do. Yeah, we need to add the validation on this. This will be useful for people. Okay, where's our UTrack? New issue. Okay, on change task information page, cannot tell when the RFC starts/ends. Okay, this won't necessarily be a method. Oh, Socks has decided. Oh, no, she's back. Okay. This is more of a UI issue. Okay. UI/UX. People are finding it hard to know when the RFC starts and finishes, because we'll need to state this information on this slide. Next, we need to state in red when the start date / end date falls outside of the RFC's time frame. I think it's just going to be too hard to get the So there might be a case where you back up before the RFC starts. The company might have that, so I want to keep it kind of flexible. I also am going to put in another bug. Change tasks. I've got to edit that bug I just submitted. I need to actually fill out all this. Users can place the start date / end date before today. Much like new RFC section, will need to stop users from submitting dates for today. Alright, this is a normal priority, this is a bug, this is a submitted, this is assigned to me, this is the RFC, so request for change, create. Alright, cool. On change task information, we need to change this. This is normal. This is bug. This is state submitted. This is assignee. I'm going to try and tackle this. Subsystem request for change. Cool. Also, at the same time, I've noticed that if we go back, we can still select stuff from years ago. So we need to fix that one up right now. That one will be simple. We've done it before. So I'm going to close this. New request for change. Update. This. Pretty simple. So with the RFC, we are going to copy that exact same thing. So we need okay, I've gone way past it. So that's implementation start, implementation end, and release date. All right, so we just now need to essentially copy the function. Did I copy the wrong thing? Copy the wrong thing. I am not paying attention whatsoever. Is date disabled? That's what I wanted. So undo, 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 undo. Paste. All right, cool. And then we need disable date. Which is, I do believe, 10 lines. Yep. And then we just put it in over here. Simple. Now, because we're reusing code over and over there, even it's in 2 spots. Now, what we could potentially do is we could potentially utilize, if we have to do this in a 3rd spot, this is what I would do. I would make it so that the user, if we need to use that function for a third time, I would use these lovely things called, and it's on the top of my tongue, or the tip of my tongue, mixins. I would use mixins. So I've utilized a couple of mixins, like datetime mixins, error mixins, and so forth like that. I would probably squeeze this into datetime mixins, in which case this is used over and over and over again in other places. It's just easier to have this in one spot and then just program in the mixin into those particular components. But in this sort of case, because it's just in two spots, it's not worth it at the moment. All right, if we click on this, go all the way back. As you can see, back in 2016. So yeah, there we go. That is working how we want it to. And now that I'm realizing it, yes, we probably should put that into a mixin. Don't like it when this program just has a few text glitches, which are really annoying. So it is as simple as doing something like that. So with RFC details, what we want is we'll just delete that. You'll notice we should be importing mixins already, like right here. So import, just because I like this, import date time mixin from like so. And then what we want to do is there's a mixin thing down here, and we'll have date time mixin. We should be able to call that. So this is the RFC details. So this would be this here. So if we just hit refresh, we shouldn't have any compiling issues. All right. Sox is, I think she's here, but she's like, I'm looking over here. All right, we've got an error. And I can't read that because it's so zoomed out. All right. Does not exist. Okay, this is one, two, three, mixins, date time mixin, date time mixin. Oh, I've got it mixins. Oh, all right. Okay. Being consistent is key. So we're looking for date time mix-ins. Oh, we are using it like this. All right. All right. Sorry, I need to actually fix this up. Starters, that's got to be in alphabetical order. Okay. consistency is key. If you're not consistent, this is one way to actually introduce bugs into your system or confusion. Is this meant to be plural? Is this meant to be singular? What are the rules around this being plural? What are the rules around this being singular? Okay. That's all JS, that's JS, that's JS, cool. Great, it's not going to compile at the moment because this is all wrong. And I need to in that file, so I need to actually do that manually. Okay, JavaScript, mixins, date time mixin. The DS store loves to pop up its ugly head, freaking thing. All right, date time mixin. So you're now good. Let's RFC details, daytime mixin, daytime mixin. Let's see if we compile. We are compiling successfully. We are not, however, hitting the refresh button successfully. Oof. Okay. Good. It's working how we want it. So now we just got to reference that mixin everywhere. So with the RFC information, we don't need it here, but request the details page we do want. So the components, RFC details. So we've got the daytime mix in here. So that's fine. New request. Just got to figure out where I've got to do it. Import take time mix in from mixins dot date time mix in. Where are my mixins? Date time mix in. Oh. Okay. With our methods, this disabled date is now a duplicate. We just get rid of it. We no longer need it. Now we make sure everything's compiled. Yep, perfectly fine. Once again, this should just work. And it does perfectly. Sweet. All right. I want to use that on this. So I want to have these not have any date earlier than this. The change task should not be started before it's actually written out, because that's a big no-no. So what we want is the change task. Information. Ooh, also, before I forget, we need new change task item. New change task. So we also want over here. I don't know where I put this. Renderer, no. Request to change models. New run item. So, what we need is, oh, between dates. Oof. Alright, this is going to be a bit trickier because I'm reutilizing a component that is used elsewhere. I don't want to add in an extra layer of confusion, nor do I want to rewrite it just for one particular component. So what I've got to potentially do is I'm going to have to write this up as a bug. I'm going to have to think about this properly and not just rush into it and just do it. Okay. So, let's take our first screenshot. The other thing is, we could fall back on the warnings up here. I mean, yeah, we could just fall back on those warnings. Give me a minute whilst I think this through my head at the moment. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to implement something, a flag on between dates, be like nothing before today, and have that set as false. That way I don't need to set anything else up for anywhere else. And I only need to worry about it in one particular case. And I can use math to make it even faster. Alright. I'm gonna have to think about it, but between dates component needs a flag for disabling dates before today. In some areas that use the between dates component, e change tasks, we will need to include a flag. Oh, even then, no. Before to dates. The problem is you can have. Okay, I'm gonna go forward with this. Because the problem is you can have a change task that will take a little while to be set up, but at no point in time should you let it lapse. If you get up to that date, and let's say it was meant to start yesterday, you should be updating all the dates for it's approved. It has to be usually set in the future. And usually at that sort of stage, if something has lapsed that long, it becomes either urgent or it gets put back. So, yeah. Okay. Let's continue with this bug. In some areas that use the in-between dates components IDG chaser, we'll need to include a flag that will disable all dates before today's date, i.e. no backdating. This is because of the business processes around these particular fields. They do not like to be backdated. Alright, so this is a, I wouldn't say major, I would say normal, because you can still work around it. It isn't blocking anything. Submitted, assignee, I will do this. This is part of the request for change. And then we'll just create. Okay. So yeah, I've got to think about that. We've also got to have this UI, UX sort of change up so that you can see all the dates and so forth like that. We'll have some rules around all of this. We'll, yeah. It's coming along slowly. Remember, this was the first thing I ported into the new sort of code base. So I'm hoping that I can polish this up really well. Because I have been neglecting the request for change for a little bit. I've been meaning to still add in the ability for it to block other requests for change tasks and so forth like that, which would be a lot of fun to actually implement. So yeah, that will happen very shortly. Yeah. Anyway, it's almost 10 o'clock here. My neighbors do get sick of me talking after dark. Well, it's been dark for a little while, but let's go find someone to raid. Ooh, toggle bit. All right. Now I've got to do that to him. But yes, we are getting there. We're actually getting there, which is great news. We are so close to getting the RFC sort of polished up and finished. It'd be great once they are, because then I can start on the next major release, the next big thing for NearBeach, which is either the Gantt chart or the sprints. So I'll probably throw up a little poll, being like, which one would you be more interested in? Now, NearBeach used to actually have a Gantt chart type of thing. The idea for the Gantt chart is you'll have all your projects and tasks all in a list in particular date order, and then you can modify everything and so forth. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that works. I do need to design it though, so that's the scary moment. Anyway, thank you very much. Let's go raid Togglebit. So yes, thank you very much for being here. Yeah.
Instruction.